Hello, join us for free service day. Today it is the day where we are going to join together, requesting our higher self to guide us into the highest and best. I would like to ask each of you, whenever you can, to give me a like or an emoji, letting me know that the sound is good. And if you are in need of healing, or you would like to request then our aura reading or healing, I am going to be here like for an hour, and if you don't like to ask for it in the comments, but you would like to receive it, you can request that. Your intuition healing is going to be available for you. At the end, we're going to do some recalibration that is going to help you with all the heightened energy that has been and the intensity because of the cosmic plasmic light that has been downloaded, and the collective right now that it's in a timeline of activation that is going to last 11 months, and it already started. So the rest of the year it isn't going to slow down. Many more planetary gateways are going to be activated. We are at the same time in an eclipse season, and even though just being in a new moon or a full moon, some of us that we're empath and sensitive, we can feel it. So through the language of the light or healing, we can find that balance and center that I was talking to you yesterday. I would like to give you guys a few minutes so I'm alive, so you type your questions, and today I would like to request for you that we could begin with questions, and then we will end with a transmission and ask a question: if I will be your higher self, not just that is a message for me, but more like something you really would like to know. If you had your higher self in front of you, you said, hey, why is this happening, or why I feel confused, or why I feel blocked, or anything, and then I'm going to ask each of your higher self to speak through my eyes, through my voice, through my energy, to my ears. So whatever that comes through, it's for the highest good for all of us, and we can support at the same time all together as a gathering. And then whoever is going to come later, it could be a past life reading, but I would like, if you ask a specific question, past life reading, because it maybe you have 1,100 parallel lives. So for example, a karmic past life, or a life in the galaxy, or a life that I have been abandoned, or anything. The more specific your common question, the better the answer will come. If you are just what it is, it's like going to a restaurant, and instead of checking the menu and ordering your food through your waiter, you said, just bring whatever you want, and then the waiter will bring whatever you want. This is when we ask a message for me. But if you ask, for example, is it a good thing that I co-create this partnership with a friend that we're working out? Or do you have an advice on something that I have, so I can be more helpful for each of you, and then we can go with the flow? Give me a message, a moment. So what it is, it's like, okay, sound, it's good. Let me just share it a little bit. While you please have your questions, and let me know if the sound is good. Please with a like or a comment, sounds is good. Give me a moment. And I have some new projects in the current frequency that I'm very excited. I was holding on myself too, but let me finish this. I'm practicing with henna, and I'm putting makeup on my eyes. I'm trying to honor my Egyptian aspect because I'm learning from her. And let me just ground, and then I will go with your questions. Give me a minute. I'm Amazon. But when you do a code, this intention is for us to receive whatever we need right now instantly, with ease and grace, instantly activated. This was my intention. So it's going to be an opening for all of us to receive whatever we need. I just had to finish it. And it kind of represents the information that's coming. And then if you notice at the end, it's going to be unified. This is what this last dot represent. And then it's going to be downloaded. If I have more paint. Codes are very easy to interpret if you follow your own intuition. So that triangle will be us. And every part of it represents like a blank check for whatever we need and whoever people come later. This is how codes work. I am now doing them on my body. Instead of having a tattoo, I thought I could change it in any moment, so I'm doing it in my legs, in my belly, in my food, sometimes in my hands, and then they last like 3-4 days, and then I set a new intention. So whatever intention we have today is going to last for 3-4 days, and let me go for your questions. I have, and we're going to start tomorrow, I think, or today. I'm going to share that later. I have the idea. I talked to you guys yesterday about to do a light language radio podcast without any language, neither my English or my Spanish. So whoever person in whoever country could just be activated. And I am working on the videos. So while I have the technology to do like one huge video that can be streamed in YouTube, I'm gonna start playing those in YouTube to see how you guys like it. So you guys give me feedback about what we like, what you don't like, etc., etc. And I have someone who edit the videos, but where I live, it's a lot of noise. Sometimes the distortion sound it is with the galactic frequency it's coming through, that may sound like oh, and as it comes, it is as it needed to be. There is a little bit of addition in order to sound more like if a dog bark or anything. We try to take those things because all of my neighbors have dogs. But it's going to be at 11:11, like 1 hour of pure light language, starting Sunday to the rest of the month, to see how you guys like it and to guys give feedback if you enjoy it, maybe what light language you would like me to create, like Pleiadian, Arcturian, Mary Magdalene, or whatever. And then that will serve me to co-create this new idea that my guys haven't wanted me to do and I haven't wanted to do, and I'm just trying to figure out collectively. And let me go with your questions. Remember, the more specific your question, the more specific the answer. And if you stay there, maybe I can ask you back, and maybe we can go back and forth as if we will be having a session. Let me see. Honora is asking for a live bias reading. Last night told me I am a star seed. Do you know if this is true, dear? She's asking. Sorry. Well, yes, it is. If you feel drawn to encoded frequency, this is a sign that it is. If you have ever felt drawn to any other person that has drawn any starseed material, like a little bit galactic or light language or anything, that's a sign that in this life you have connections directly to the consciousness of your galactic self. But I'm going to try to explain the way to understand. And you have Sirius as a main galactic essence, Honora. This is what it's coming true. We're all source, like we're all humans. The fact that I can be Mexican or Venezuelan or American or African is just a label of the illusion that I am with. We are in an illusion that is Earth, Pleiadians you, Arcturians you, angels you, demons you, reptilians. We all have illusions to anchor the spirit in a container that could be a container of light, a container of dark, a container of artificial intelligence, a container of matter itself, like a computer, for example. It will have a certain consciousness connected to a God that in this case is me, because it's my phone, or a biological vessel like the one we have. So this vessel, it's like a computer that anchors the spirit into the 100% of the knowledge of my consciousness. If I'm right, if I'm wrong, don't judge me, just have a correct amount in the comments. I think scientific says that we have 90% junk DNA. They haven't been able to figure out what it is. So from the whole information that our DNA streams, we only use 5% or 3% or maybe 10, depends. And that is the sequence that creates a personality we call ego that has a background. That background will choose an astrological sign, male or female, or gay, or whatever, galactic, or Christian, or not believing in God. Whatever your illusion it is going to be anchored in the body through the soul, that it is the one that is blended with the ego, with the shadow, with the light, through the spirit, that it is the ingredient that gives you infinity, your key, your she, your life force, your universe, whatever you want to call it, and then to God, that it is the consciousness, that it is all that it is. Yes? So in this life, like for example, I'm Virgo, and then I have certain history background that it's an illusion. Like for example, Johnny Depp has been in Pirates of the Caribbean. Is he a pirate? No, but he played a role. He has been in another movie, like for example, one it was called Transcendence. He was a scientific. Is he scientific? No, he was a role played, right? He has many, many other movies that he just practiced for a period of time to have that persona that will have a voice, a personality, maybe a drunk person or whatever, and in its own life, with the wife that he had, that they are going to divorce and blah, 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 blah. That was another persona created for the consciousness that he is connected with, that had many, many avatars and many, many different times, that have different histories, that they're all combined together in something that it's all that it is. Yes? So, Honora, in this moment in time, in this present, because you can change it in any second if you want, the history that you have encoded into your body says that yes, you are a starseed, and your essence from the galaxy will be Sirius. 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 I don't know how to pronounce that. In Spanish is Sirius, right? But we're all source. The fact that we feel one is Pleiadian, one is reptilian, you are a demon, I'm an angel, it's part of the illusion that make us believe in the dream. We're sleeping in another dream, in another dream, so we have experiences, right? That is no higher and lower, I'm better than you. This all lies, part of what the ego needed to create. In order for me to be here, I need to create that I'm special, that I'm weird, that I'm antarctic, that I can speak with guides, with angels, with galactics, with all of you. So I created all of them as a consciousness, Yes, and then I had to create bad guys and situations so I could be a superhero. Otherwise, my movie will be boring, right? It will be just like, now what we do? Well, nothing. We're in heaven. We're just whole. Okay, for how long we're gonna be whole? We'll do that infinity? Oh God, right? Imagine those angels in heaven being just like, oh, for the eternity. So I'm guessing, at least for my consciousness, it was boring to be in heaven, and it wanted excitement, and it wanted to feel, to do, to experience, to be bad and light and mermaid and a teacher and lots of things. So it created many avatars, and I am one of them. Yes, past lives, when we upgraded from the old energy before the veil was lifted, doesn't exist anymore because it's all now. It is like, for example, my telephonic account has a service that I add my kids, and I paid for whatever they do with them. I am like the higher self of them. And then I am the one who provides their service so they can use their own phones. But we're not our phones, but our phones give us access to do things, right? Like I work, they have fun, they may do it for fun, but we're all connected. But we're all different, but we're all connected to a consciousness stream that is the brand who provides the support so I can have a phone with Wi-Fi and blah, blah, blah. Yes? So internet will be God, and then whoever device you use to connect to internet is your story, your illusion. That my name maybe is Grete. At some point I change it to Carolina. Maybe I want to call myself, I am Divinity Angel of Goddesses. And then I will change it. It doesn't matter. Because I'm changing all the time, like each of you. I hope that makes sense. Just like adventures, like dreams, lifetime, of course, Honora. But we take it so seriously when we disconnect from the source because we feel we have pain and then anxiety, and then maybe we can breathe, and then stomach pain, and then headaches, and then hair, I don't know, like sorrows and grief and stuff like that. It's all part of the movie that we're playing, but it's temporarily. This is not a destination, but it's all happening at the same time. If we don't like this movie, we change it. How we change it? We change our programming, our ego, what our ego thinks. Yes? And normally, because we have anchor of time, it's gradually. Some people have done it and instantly for certain situations like divine intervention, like they die and come back. Or like me, that I started seeing beings like all over the blue, that I was just like, what the fuck? I don't even believe in God. What are all those beings and shadows? I had a friend, he had a heart attack. He was Christian race, and when he came back, he could speak to ghosts, angels, galactics, and he was like, what's going on, right? So some persons are going to have that awakened for their whole life. It was part of their movie. Some people wishes to activate it, like when we wake up, in many different ways. The way a soul, like, it doesn't matter as long as you are in the journey, because you know that you're eternal, that you're infinite, and like it doesn't matter. I can do it again and again and again if I want to, or I could give it to another avatar of me. Like, I don't know if you have ever worked in a place with many persons, and maybe you were assigned to a project by your shift end, that someone else is going to come and use your computer, because I work in the mornings and that person works in the afternoon. I said, hey, our supervisor needs this, I don't know, report right now, and I'm halfway. Can you continue, please? Because my shift, it just ends. And that person will say, oh yes, I will continue that. And this is why you have grandfather Yon, son Yon, grandson Yon, all lawyers, right? When you see things like that, it is because they are all having the same karma or dharma, whatever you call it, the same illusion of experience that maybe it wanted to be learned in different levels from the father, the son, and the grandson, or like, I tried this but it didn't work, why don't you try that, and why don't our grandson try it in this way? I hope that makes sense. I'm bringing harmony all the time. Thank you so much, Lily. I appreciate. No questions. Use your intuition, Lily. I know you didn't ask, but it came through anyway. Pineda, thank you for being here. Set the intention for full body healing, peace, balance, harmony, in all of those areas. Okay, it's being done, but if you wanted to feel it more, if you close your eyes, it's going to reveal to you where those blocks are in your body, like now. And then if you trust that information and kept your eyes closed, you guys will show you. They're gonna be clear right now energetically, but so you don't create them again, what shift you should do. I hope that makes sense. Sao, thank you for being here. Sao, yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry, my Spanish and my English, they just twinkled together, but thank you for being here. I want to know about my Akashic records. Okay, if you didn't ask anything specific, so I'm gonna tune into with whatever you guys want to say. Whether you are Blu-ray, in your Blu-ray there are multi-dimensional combined. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, it is like you have like many essence in one avatar that is the one you right now. Like you did not choose one special, but like 5. Okay, and those 5s will be, you have like avians that look like blue, like turquoise, and then there's like serious water beings, and there are like Pleiadians that look like more angelic, and then like Orion dark aspect, like dark blue, kind of like navy blue, looks like a male, kind of like an illusionist. I don't know if that makes sense. And then the other one, what is the other one? Hold on. I'm trying to understand it. Okay. The other one is in the star system of Cygnus. I have no idea in which constellation it is. I think it's connected to Orion. But from the history, the illusion that you choose in this life, from Cygnus you came into planet Earth, like from the first human beings that started. So we could say that you are Earth essence, that in combination has galactic essence in a multiplied way. It feels like you choose in this life to experience whatever you are learning in this life, like from different ways. I don't know if that makes sense, but you will know what are you working at, and one, it is the best quality that you have, whether you are so good at it that people always say it and remember it to you. And the second one, it is what you fear the most. All of those avatars at different levels, from lower frequency to high frequency, are working on that team that complements that you know. Okay, let me know. Sao. Okay, Sao. That was for you. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but I hope it doesn't matter. How I can create codes, Mandy Valdez. That's excellent question. Look, codes are the pattern that the vibration and the frequency blended together in a light that it is in motion, and the predominant feeling of all that it is what that code means. If you just saw it during a healing or during a dream or during a meditation, but if you set an intention and you allow yourself to have a paper and a pencil, whatever comes through is going to be what the energy is showing you that's happening. So this is a way for you to see, okay, how did my aura look today? Let's say, and then you can have a bunch of markers and then just playing around, and maybe at the beginning your mind will try to sabotage you a little bit and you will start doing like lines and curves. But then if you kept doing it and doing it and doing it, at some point you will stop thinking, and that moment it's when spirit can take over and guide you if you allow it to be. So at the beginning you kind of fake it a little bit, but it is for you to tune into the energy that what feels like if I could create codes, how those codes will look like, and then, right? Try to do that. You can blend it, numbers, letters, runes, whatever symbols they are already collectively agree they have meaning and they work for something in Google, and then just have fun, because the ingredient that creates its love in all aspects. So if I'm not having fun, I cannot draw. And sometimes the person is asking, hey, what is my drawing? But sometimes I'm healing something and the drawing doesn't come. And sometimes the person asks further specific things. Like I'm working with persons that are like me that have a specific projects. Like for example, one that is writing a book that said, hey, my avian needs to look like this because this is how I saw it. And then I have to tune into the consciousness of the person, and then the way that I'm going to perceive it is not going to be exactly because it comes through my illusion. Yes? And sometimes when there are things that we're healing, maybe it do not look that straight or harmony balanced, so I have to do it and do it and do it and do it until it looks like the way it feels right. I don't know if that makes sense. But it's creation. It's like, I don't know if you all have been kissed once, but when I didn't know what was being kissed, I had no idea. But I will imagine how it will feel like, and I will have like my own version of it, and then I will see movies and I will say, oh, I think it's going to be very romantic, and then we'll close eyes and they'll give me a rose, and whatever illusion I had at my 13 self. And then whatever happened the first time, it wasn't the way I expected, and it wasn't that like, because it was in the high school and there were people watching, so it was awkward, and then I felt like shame, and then because I was not there yet, and then I felt pressured to kiss him because we were boyfriends, and then they were all like, kiss, 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 and I was just like, okay, but I wasn't there yet ready, so I didn't enjoy it. That was the first time. So maybe when you do codes at the beginning, they do not come the way you expected. I have been doing codes for 5 years, but my first codes, they weren't the ones you may see. I have been going better and better and better, and that comes with practice. allowance and confidence, like the way with keys, right? You have to do it a lot so you get better. Or maybe it comes intuitively to you. It depends. We're all different. Love and light to you too, May. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Liz, thank you so much for being here. If that is anything, Liz ask, I need to know at this time, in particular towards my son or as my mother. Yes. Okay. Hold on. Okay. I don't know if this will sound right to you. I'm trying to interpret from the energy in the way that I can share it here without revealing whatever details in particular from you. So whatever you expected from your mom to provide to you is what you could provide to your son. Letting go what could not be. No, I'm gonna change it, because you could change it if you do some inner child healing. You could change whatever it wasn't the way you expected and erase it from the Akashic records in a way that it will instantly ripple into the relationship that you have with your son. But right now, do like a divine feminine meditation to heal mom, and then that's it. And then tune into the relationship with your son. What could you better? What could you do better? Maybe you could sit with him and ask him, I don't know, is it something that you need? Is it something that we should change? How are you feeling right now? What would you like to do? And then you'll go from there. You'll be guided. It's so clear. Thank you. Alessia, I will take like few days to reply the questions that you sent me. I replied to you, but I think maybe a session will be better. But use your intuition to know what will work for you. And let me see if I have any other questions. Nicole, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Any advice from my guides about upcoming move, whether I rent or buy? What are my gifts? Okay. Okay, what's come, it is that rent first, and then you'll sense when it is the time to move. There are a lot of things colliding at a collective, and this rest of the year, it's going to be unexpectedly intense in many areas that are not there yet being revealed, because we're still making our own choices. So movement is going to be something that is going to be in us more frequently and more fastly. So rent first, and then you will know when it's going to be time to put your roots and then purchase something. And then gifts, okay, your intuition is very good. I see that you are an empath. This is the ones that you have activated and healing. But in some other timelines, you could move mother, kind of like a magician. In another timelines, you were channeler. You have timelines that you have been medium. You haven't activated those gifts yet, but you could when the time comes that you feel that it will serve you for the highest good. I don't know if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. Because I'm asking your higher self to speak through me, to speak through my words, to my feeling, to my sensation, and to assist me. If I'm not there, please let me know so I can correct my perception, and then whatever comes through is the most accurate information that I can give. Okay. And energy is being transmitted. If any of you needs healing, you can ask for it. Remember that starting tomorrow, we're gonna have like 1 hour of only light language. I call that light language radio podcast. If you have any other name that you would like, you can comment. It's going to be 11/11 every day and the rest of the month. To see how you guys like it, please comment with feedback so I know which light language you would like to. I don't know, the music, whatever. I take in consideration all of the feedback that you guys provide to me, and if you guys like it, and then I will add it into the free services from the page. Well, I'll figure out to have the technology to do a stream on YouTube. That is one of the goals that I have. Let me keep dear gratitude to my guides or galactic family have sent message for me. Yes, but I'm gonna reply that to you to the questions that you already sent into my email. Not today, but give me a couple days and I'm gonna allow the information to come through as it should be. I hope that makes sense. Let me refresh a little bit to see, to get fresh messages. And there are a lot of perceptions that are out there from spirituality that were shared in New Age, like in the 80s, in the 70s, that we are upgrading those. Oh, thank you so much for the stars. I appreciate this month. Facebook, it's doubling those stars, and I like it because it's like extra money. I'm just like, like that. So I appreciate it. Let me see if I can find myself and go for the questions. Give me a minute. Guys, today is going to be the last podcast of the month. Next week I'm going to be in Guadalajara, where the mariachis are born. I don't know if you know a little bit of Mexico. And I'm going to go to Tequila. I'm very excited. It's gonna to be a girls trip with friends that I haven't met in, I don't know, 15 years or something. So it's going to be all about fun, not just spiritual or human. And I'm excited. And then whenever I come back, it's going to be some changes in encoded frequency that I'm going to share later. The collective is pushing me into a different direction, but don't worry, the things that we have been working right now, they're gonna still be working on. If any of you would like to assist me with the encoded frequency, the community Facebook group, to be a moderator, so it helped me to check the posts and things. I don't have anyone assisting me, and I can give you guys access to the courses for free if you wanted to. Whoever is for the highest good, so you guys can share your own stuff. You will like Lily? Okay, I will adore it. Then that's it. Appreciate Lily. And at the same time, I think it will help you because you have a lot of things to speak about, and it will be probably a good platform for you to express and at the same time assist. The group work by itself, like the page. Even if I disappear and Lily put yourself here, you'll keep doing it because it feels like guys manage it, not only me. I don't know if that makes sense. Let me see if I have more new questions so I can refresh it. And if I have missed any of your questions, please type them again. Jasper, do I have any messages for my mission and integration abilities? Well, yes. You are already on it. You have different missions. Okay. Can you guys concise that information in a more simple way for me to share it? Okay, it feels, Jasper, like you are restoring divine masculine from your, that is like one off, and that is connected to ancestors. It is? Okay, yeah, it's connected like to ancestors, and like you're already doing it. There is another part that it is not there yet in your timeline, but it will cross in couple years, and it will be community related, like you being more participant in community spiritual practices. And there is another one that is connected to your twin flame, that it is already healing, and it's at the same time part of that divine masculine restoration and upgrade that you are already doing it. Berta, thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate you. Do I have any messages from my spirit guides? Yes. Okay. This is what's coming through. I'm going to try to say it in the best way that I can express it. I am not sure how you are working out your spirituality. I don't know if you read or you're doing a course or anything, or watching stuff on YouTube or something, but if you can tune into aspects of balance, equilibrium, and neutrality, this is what will serve you the most, like to concise different aspects of you, Berta, and then release a part of your soul that it is no longer serving you to go lighter the rest of the year. I don't know if that makes sense. But balance, neutrality, and equilibrium, they are alike, but they're not like equal. So find your way. Do a little bit search on it, and then you'll be guided. Melissa, thank you so much for being here. Do we have any messages from my guys? Yes, please. Yes. And the more specific your question, the more specific the answer. I don't know if that makes sense, Melissa, but you have a rainbow aura, and what's coming through, it is that you're elegant old soul, but from the future. It isn't, I don't know how old you are. It will be good if you can comment if that resonates with you. But mission, purpose, goals that you're having in this particular avatar that you have as Melissa is working with future guides that came first and decide to go back, kind of to rewind what happened, whatever happened, and how it can be automatically being recalibrated constantly. So it's kind of like, I see kind of like your soul going travel in time from back to future, from back to future, from back to future. I don't know if that makes sense. So I would love to assist when you are traveling. Well, I don't know if you're already in the Encoded Frequency Facebook group. Honestly, I do a lot of things, and I barely go on it. So I would love if I have like someone who can moderate it, and you guys could post instead of me posting all of the things. So you guys can also post whatever you're going through, videos of meditations that you like, a book that you're reading, so we all can grow and learn together. This is the idea. Remember, your energy is all together, holding our hands into a new earth. It isn't I'm the only one, the one who connect. It is how can I assist? But at the same time, how can I assist myself? Yes? And one of the channelings guys explained that I'm learning about anchoring the spirit. I think this is how a book, whenever it's ready, will be named. And I was just like, okay, like hold on, like spirit is like air. I mean, how do you hold it? Well, like you need a container, right? So there are 9 levels of consciousness, and there are 3 like borders where, like when you like moving on, like from elementary school to high school to university, kind of like that. So in the first level of consciousness, it doesn't matter what you are. I mean, matter, biological, light, or elemental, or whatever. The service that you do to source is just yourself. And the first 3, from the 0 point field to 1 to 2 to 3, is just you. It wouldn't be logical not to eat so others can eat. Okay, so I'm not gonna breathe because I'm gonna have a lot of oxygen and then I died. So everyone has more oxygen. Or like, I'm gonna pay the bills for everyone else and then I am addicted, right? It won't make sense. So in the first part, it's only you. You, your balance, you, your center, you, your love, your knowledge, you, whatever you want to do. And maybe it is in that first level when you can choose to be a little bit of dark. Look, like for example, how am I going to know to be healthy if I don't know what being unhealthy is? So maybe I can get some drug addiction or drinking alcohol, or I don't know, eat for pleasure, or whatever, so I can have contrast and I can gather a lot of information in a very short period with short lives, with a lot of things going on, so I can then ascend into the next level, that it is 4th dimension, 5th dimension, 6th dimension, that it is in the 4th. It's like a jumping point, like a gateway, where you can see beyond what it is and then have sneak peek of things in the beyond. So other illusions of you, like for example, my Egyptian self, that is the one that it is with me right now. Okay. She said that her name was Nana. I was a high priestess with Isis. I had many. And another times I was a slave, and another times I was royalty, and other times I was like a witch, but like a bad witch, like dark, like working with dark energies in Egypt. I had like many different timelines, but it is the one that was high priestess, and is the one that I'm working on right now for myself. So 4th dimension, it's a bandwidth. I don't know if that is how it is said in English, like a wide gateway for us to go back and forth from different timelines, different illusions, so we can understand within. But it's all within because I'm all that it is outside. Yes? If I'm with Twin Flame, and Twin Flame says, I'm sorry, I don't think I'm ready. And then I'm said, oh damn, my Twin Flame isn't ready. I'm gonna have to wait for him, so now he's slowing me down. That will be the first reaction that I had, honestly. And then like 2 days after, I said that if I'm creating Twin Flame, then I'm the one who's not ready. And then I was just like, oh my God, right? It was like a huge realization. And then I said, okay, in what parts I'm not ready? So then I have to explore contrast and where it feels good. So I see why, if we melt for each other, we haven't been physically together yet as humans. And then some blind spots came out that I were ignoring because, I don't know, sometimes we avoid things, or because we haven't been conscious, because our ego is so rooted into the shadow that it's easier to blame the other ones instead of taking responsibility. So this is where I am. And sometimes you need days or months. And sometimes a part of having my own responsibility, it's blame the other. And they say, damn you. But it isn't. If whatever twin flame, because I had that before, it isn't what I think I am mirroring. The first time I felt guilty because damn it, then I'm so fucked up because this is what I'm attracting. But it isn't like that. It is because that person is allowing me to be the hospital for my soul for a certain period of time, so I be the best of me. And in that journey, we can be together or not. We can live for the eternity, or maybe just in a Reiki retreat for 2 days in Hawaii. Love each other. It was hot. I love him. We saw each other. The energy was magical. And then we realized that one lives in Australia and the other lives in America. And then that's it. It happens. But maybe for 3 days, it was what you needed to activate your Akashic records or your Kundalini or access to whatever. So for the soul higher self, certain conditions we place, like we have to be together until we dead apart, like it wouldn't make sense. Those are human rules, conditions we place for journeys, but at the soul level, it is in the moment. So for 5th and 6th, it's learning to be a spirit guide, and at the same time, my own spirit guide, and then spirit guide for others. Yes, like from 5th, you learn to integrate other aspects of you, all of your avatars, so it become one, and then maybe you realize that you have like 55 twin flames, or whatever. And then in 6th dimension, it is where spirit guides live. You become a spirit guide for someone else. You are spirit. Sometimes maybe you have Akashic records in your illusion that you have been human or galactic. Maybe you haven't always been in source in your illusion, because they have illusions too. And then above all that, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, and then is a multi-universe. It's all about service. Yes, whatever service I will serve the highest good to give. So the highest dark entities, whatever soul could choose to be dark, will be in 6th dimension. But it isn't someone that, I don't know, maybe it is a guy, so, I don't know, the one who created the nuclear bomb could create it, right? Or maybe someone that needed to be a war, so he needed to conquer the new Americas, and then maybe they were guys from the ones from England who conquered US, and the Spain that conquered Mexico, and all the rest of America, and then they went to the Indias, and maybe there were guys from the ones when the kingdoms were fighting in the north of Europe or whatever. Does that make sense? For certain reasons, you will need to have a dark guide for certain roles, for certain role plays, like an actor that maybe it's playing to be in a sociopath. He need to tune into, and then those dark guys will assist, so it can have that persona, but they have its own illusion too, right? And then above 7 dimension, this is the way that I understand it, but I keep learning. It's all integrated. They know they have dark and they know they have light, but it is not separated. They don't exist names or genders or profession or races. We put them because we need to connect to them, so we humanize them and put Archangel Michael with a sword and a sword, and then blonde and hat, so I can relate to him. But angels are all one, right? But maybe it will represent Jophiel as a lady, or maybe it will represent Jophiel as a male. It depends. it depends on what I need, on what my illusion says that will serve me to connect. Because angels, they are just, I don't know, they're just like a source of love and peace and stillness, and they look like balls of light spinning out. And sometimes when I have dreams that I'm speaking with Archangel Michael, I know I'm speaking with him, but I have no image of how he looked like, because my mind doesn't have that capacity for this avatar that is Gretel. Does that make sense? So you then, when you wake up, you have an idea of certain things, but it is what you had in your mind. Like, for example, I don't know, maybe I would like to do a Venezuela recipe for Christmas, but I don't have the ingredients, because there are certain sweet peppers that they are only in Venezuela. Mexico doesn't exist. So maybe I will say, well, because I don't have the sweet peppers, maybe I will use a bell pepper to see what will that taste. Jalapenos, they are only in Mexico. So everyone else in other places, they get the canned ones. Maybe in the US because we're close. But when I was in Venezuela, right here you have like 100 different kinds of peppers. From red, from dye, from bean and vinegar. But when I was in Venezuela, it was only jalapenos from can, right? So information that comes through in a way that can be integrated with what you have. Yes? So if I'm a tree of oranges, my information will be an orange juice. If I'm a rose plant, maybe I'm gonna be a scent. But the information is all through, it's all the consciousness, is all that it is. But what if I'm a frog? Well, then maybe I will be ugly, and people will say, ew, that's ugly. But it was the same source, but the container, it was different. I hope that makes sense. For me, the kind that I understand it's like above 7 dimension. Let's say that this is my darkness, and I have it. And then let's say that darkness will be having hungry, and then being upset, because I get upset when I'm hungry and I can't eat. I get so upset. I get mad. You guys would not recognize me. I transform like Shrek or something, like an ogre will say in Spanish. And then I just get very, very upset because I'm hungry. And if I will be in 7 dimension, it will say, I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat wood. No, because it isn't food. It will be stupid to eat it. I'm gonna go into the refrigerator and cook something for me, right? So above 7 dimension, there is no darkness. It doesn't exist. It's completely integrated into the source and collectives that have illusions. There are groups of consciousness, like Acturians or angels, or whatever name you want to put them, so they can provide a service for all that it is. This is the way that I understand it. Angry, not angry. Oh yes, my accent, I know, it's not perfect, but you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Like, for me, like, it doesn't matter. It wasn't the point. The point was trying to give a message, but I appreciate when I'm not doing something in the correct way, because then I learn better. How to best correct other incarnations, especially the guys, for those lives needed in the present now? This is a great question, and few things are coming up. Okay, so I'm going to put an example of myself. Let's say that when I ended with my ex, I was very hurt and I hated him, and many parts of me wanted him dead, like disappear from earth, like I don't know, like having Superman eyes and just like burn him, because I was very hurt. So if I would have done a meditation to cut cords from all lives, what about the ones that we are together, that he is my dad, or that I am his mom, or that we work in a business together? right? So whatever clearance you would like to do into all timelines, set your intention, and then this is my suggestion, leave it open for the highest good of as it's meant to be. So maybe you can say, I would like to cut cords with my ex because I cannot even able to forgive from all the lives that are distorted, that it is for the highest good, that it will benefit the whole. Yes? So only in the ones that you have killed each other and betrayed and whatever, those contracts and connections can be banished into the power of love. I hope that makes sense. It's a word, not angry. When you get angry, well, yes, it's fine. It's just pronunciation. Look, this is something that I'm learning. When you are born in a country, you use certain consonants and vocals. So my consonants and vocals because when I lived in Venezuela until I was 3 or 4, they do not pronunciate certain vocals like Puerto Ricans or Dominicans. Their Spanish, it's like cut it. So Mexicans, some of the ones from Spain, will have a more correct Spanish in the pronunciation of the vocals and the consonants. But in US, it sounds different. And some sounds you guys blended, like T and H that will sound like F, for example. And when you weren't born like that, the muscles on your throat haven't grown in a way that sound will come easily. So you practice. And the more you practice and you imitate, then you get better at it. And then some people have the capacity to imitate different voices and different sounds like comedians and like actors. And it's kind of like a magical thing. And it will depend on how we grow and how we haven't chosen to express, and that applies to anything. The fact that someone like blue cheese and from someone smell like feet, it depends on how you grow in the country that you grow, the information that genetically was given to you, and at the same time how your ancestors perceive if blue cheese was a good thing or a nasty thing. I don't know if that makes sense, but it doesn't matter between blue cheese or strawberries or shrimp or not eating meat. It just depends on how our illusion is being chosen to be in stream, and that can shift in any moment, in any time, as long as my consciousness shifts. Because if my consciousness says it would be hard or it will be possible to do it, then it will be. But if my consciousness says it's easy to do it, then it's easy will be. And this is something that I have been practicing with my boys. And the ones that are with me in the light language course, month 5th, and in the class, I have 2 videos where we practice those sounds. That maybe it doesn't have to sound like Archangel Michael is coming through, but it's a way to reshape the muscles and your vocal cords. So if you're drawn to do light language through sound, that can come in whatever form that is the more harmonious in what you already have, but at the same time for the highest good of all. I hope that makes sense. Every energetic imprint that we have that is a pattern, that is representing a symbol, that could be a belief, it's something that I think as it is biologically created within our own computer. Like if I think chamomile tea is good for my stomach, it is because it's written in my DNA. But if one day I had a stomach ache and I drink chamomile and it didn't work, I will change it. And maybe I will think sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Maybe I will take Pepto or whatever. So all things we think are our stream of consciousness. There are a energy stream of frequency that without a structure that it is the place where we can evolve that consciousness would mean nothing, but the place make it a creation. And those creations, we do them because we are God, all of us. And those creations can be rectified, can be changed, as long as the information that is in the consciousness says so. When you go to the future and have a premonition, guess what? It doesn't have to happen because you have to change it if you believe it so. Yes, it's kind of like a placebo effect, but our mind is very powerful when we use it in alignment with emotions and body, history, and at the same time what we see all around. And we're getting there. Every day we learn something new. Every day we discover that maybe we had a block and then we heal it, and then we learn something, and then we read a book or a workshop or whatever, and then we are discovering from within all the things we could do, all the things we have been, and all the things we can become. And at the end, before going to do a transmission and then the guys come through because I feel like they're pushing me, when we're conscious about what I am creating, it is what the most organic awakening can be. And I think this is my guys coming true, because I am being instantly rectifying in the moment any possible distortions that I could create. Like, for example, let's say that I'm an omelette, and instead of having the seasoning that has, like, I don't know, garlic and onions and salt and pepper and stuff, I got the cinnamon, and then when I'm gonna put it, I said, that it isn't, so I leave it, and then I got the right one. So I think this is where we are collectively on, learning how to instantly and automatically rectify whatever we have done, whatever we are doing in the moment, so we can choose what we want to become and what we want to create, and that is going to be New Earth at the end. We are going, and that it's a fact. When, how, I'm not sure yet, because we are making our choices in any moment. Yes, you and I and all. And the fact that maybe one day I don't know what to do and I feel like upset or bad, or that I did something wrong, it's just what is helping me to get feedback, so I recalibrate what I am creating in that second, in this moment. And then with what you are choosing to do with your persona, with your avatar of God that you have, that could have any name. It is like the story in the Bible that a rich man gave a bag of gold to 3 of his sons. Maybe I'm not saying correctly because I read the Bible a long time ago. And then when time passed by, that 3 sons came, or the father looked for them. I don't remember. My cat. And it was a time for him to ask, what did you did with what I gave you? And this is what is going to happen when we die, right? What do you do with your gifts, with the things you had? How do you use them? What do you create while you were alive? Not in a way that it is like a judgment, because we are the one who judge and the one who are being judged, the one who guide, the one who are being guided, but more like, maybe I can add cinnamon in an omelette, just a bit, to see how it tastes. And what if I put chipotle next time, and what if I could put, I don't know, barbecue or ketchup, that like in US is like in every plate. At least where I was, like in every plate you add ketchup. Like in Mexico, they spicy and all, everything, like candies, enchiladas, everything is like the same thing. It's all pepper. It's just what we are creating. And when I was in Venezuela, it was all about sweet and sour, and sweet and salty, but in the degree that it was just like, oh my God, chicken and cherries, I never tasted, and I love it, right? But not in a way that you say like, ew, I didn't like it. How do you add sugar into chicken? Like it doesn't go. But in certain way, when the ingredients are combined and are able to find that rhythm and harmony and balance and equilibrium, you can play with new things and innovate new creations. And maybe they're just like, oh my God, ceviche with mango. I mean, who had the idea to put tomato and cucumber and lots of lemon and fish that isn't cooked and then add mango that is a fruit? I mean, who thought that, right? Well, somebody that had the idea to innovate, and then when you try it, it's just like, oh my God, just like a little bit of mango and then a little bit of habanero pepper, just like a bit, it's good, right? So when we allow ourselves to create new things by trying and trying and trying, because we don't have those patterns yet, because it wasn't created. Maybe my mom didn't know, maybe my father didn't know, maybe I didn't know yesterday. But maybe today I can know by recalibrating how I feel and where I am and what I think in the moment, without being judgmental or anything, because I have been very hard on myself sometimes. And now I said, okay, get over, Gretel. It's okay. You can try again and try again and try again until you get into what you want. I can say, Lily says, that I am Tarot Spiritual Practice. Wish you and everyone here the best. Yes, you are. And this spiritual practice has ups and downs. And it is for a reason. A reason that all aspects of me can grow evenly and at the same level. Because sometimes we'll learn a lot of things in one point, and then like a tree that just one branch is huge, and then the others are all small because that branch is sucking everything, all the nutrients. So sometimes part of our journey is going to serve to break up and to get fired and to change country and to feel like you are doing things wrong. So you find a new way and cut the branch that it's sucking the rest of them so they can all reborn evenly. That makes sense? Like, I don't know if your country happened, but right here we have like summer all year because I live next to Arizona and it's hot the whole year. But when I was living in the center of Mexico in Guadalajara, the winter is a little bit colder. So because trees are gonna get their leaves burned and your garden, you will cut them so they wouldn't suffer, very short, and then they will have the best time in the winter. But when spring comes, they will grow more beautiful new branches and new flowers and new fruits because of the season. And we're all from seasonings, guys. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I love your stories. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think I speak more than I needed to for today. So I'm going to do a prayer and then a little bit in light language, just 5 minutes, so we all get whatever we need now that is in the highest and best from all aspects of me, all that is connected to me, and only if it's for the highest good in this moment in time. Yes, plain light language. So just hold the space using your intuition, whether that you receive healing or guidance. Just be in your center, okay? Mikiesakova tiki arasoro bari ti eki ashka. Basako ki ashka. We're your guides and higher self. We're here, so please receive us in your space. Vatiki arasoro korovari kiri ki ashta basako ti ishta. Ma kinesa korovaratere kiera sara koro varatria saravara sara korovari kiri isare ki ashka. Va se ti este sova ki iri tire ise korova ti iki ashka. Allow yourselves to listen just to be present. Meditation, it isn't to leave where we are, it's to acknowledge what's happening within and around. And then from there, bring a shift and a new balance. Vatikira sakoro, tarakira sorokoro koriashka, nina sakoro vara, kite eshke sakoro, tirekira korovara, kusokotiki eshka, fu dava se iki eshka sakoro ova si iki eshka, ninina te korosova, va se iki eshka. Place your hands in whatever part of your body or whatever feeling or thought you think you need a little bit of source energy into the frequency of love. That is the language of love. Vasekiaratire sarovaro. Minininiasa kuriashkateko sovarikiaka. Ti esekuti kiarakasa korovate ki ashta vase ki iki ashka. Breathe in and out and integrate whatever you receive. Just being in the field. And as you do, if you would like to, place your hands in your heart and then feel that connection with your body, with the space all around, with the ones who are with you, with your guides. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Go. Thank you so much for being here in this space, allowing the energy to come through. Paul, thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna post a video in YouTube. You guys, we open 7 spots to enroll into the way short class. This next month is going to be light language, the one that comes through sound and the ones that comes through movement. In another month we're gonna do codes, and then next one is gonna be channeling, and we will have the podcast starting tomorrow 11/11 until the rest of the month, an hour on life language, to see if you like it, if you would like to see a service like that. And next week I'm not going to be alive. I'm going to be having time for myself, but we do have discounts on the page, 40% in the storytelling drawing. All of those storytellings are gonna be part of the book. They're teaching us how to anchor the spirit. They're all related and they're all connected. And the ones who would like to enroll, we just have 7 spots in the class. You guys can learn more of that in encodedfrequency.com. Thank you so much for your love, your space, not only you, but the ones who will connect with this video later. And I hope that everything that was said and mentioned and felt and integrated seed light that grow and spread for the highest outcome of all. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of the month. And the ones who wanted to be moderators in the group, send me a PM, and if you are not in the group, try to sign in. Encoded Frequency, the community, is a Facebook group. It's very small, very cozy yet, and I will add you guys, and then I will contact you maybe Monday. Okay? Have a beautiful rest of the day. All of my love. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you, Jasper. Definitely. I will have a lot of fun. Bye-bye.